As we suspected, the mastermind behind the kid's escape was Eli. It's hard to believe, but apparently he'd been plotting an armed uprising against us. He could be hiding something else, too. Ocelot's gonna press him for answers. Get back here as quick as you can.
Where is he?
I told you. Your father's not here.
They're back.
Yes, they're back. But don't get any bright ideas. Your quarters are under full surveillance. Your weapons privileges have been suspended. No more uprisings for you. Did you really think it would be that easy, Commander? You'll get your boys back. Hell, even see the boss, too. But first, I need to know what you sent them to do.
They wanted to leave.
To their homelands.
They wanted to go home. That's all.
So they were just homesick then?
Not quite. Military warlords, PFs, the armies that murdered their families. Cousins, brothers, parents. They all had someone they wanted to kill. I told them, last chance to face the world with no regrets.
Last chance.
You better be ready for your drag back here. Ready to face the world as enemies.
No!
Not like you! Goodbye, Father. I don't need you anymore.
Was Ralph really an accident? Or did Eli just rig it to stir up the boys? Either way, he had to have been planning for this all along. Bidding farewell to the world.
Boss, we're looking for the kids in Sahelanthropus, but there's still no sign of them. We don't know if the chopper pilot is alive either. What have we gone and put in the hands of those kids? We don't know how bad this is until we find them. Also, regarding our concerns about Eli, I finished looking into whether or not he's a product of that project. I have an answer. I'll put it on tape. Give it a listen. Boss, I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid.
Please select a mission. Unit dispatched.
Boss, any chance of expanding the base?
Please select a landing zone. Landing zone
Roger.
confirmed.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
About Eli hijacking Sahelanthropus. We know how he got it moving. It was Emmerich. He used the kids in the staff living quarters to carry out his repairs. We got the details on tape. You're gonna want to hear this.
What was your goal in having the children repair Sahelanthropus?
I just answered their questions. I had no idea they would actually try to fix it. I mean, can you imagine a child piloting it?
Oh, sure, easily.
It wouldn't work.
I bet it's just like riding a bike.
I said it didn't work.
Who did you try?
I didn't.
Did you put your son in it?
We never did that.
His name was, Hal, wasn't it? I thought you said you never saw his face. But you made him pilot Sahelanthropus. You used him in your experiments.
He wanted to get in. It was such a short time we had.
So he was with you.
We were happy.
You're still happy now. Changing your lies to suit the listener and getting by slipping through the cracks. Building layer upon layer of convenient stories until nothing means anything to you anymore. You're happy all the time because you don't even notice you're doing it. Think hard. Who are you really? You're not a victim, and you're not the silent majority. You're a perpetrator and a petty hypocrite. The real world doesn't make you suffer. It's the other way around. Boss, we've got the results of Eli's genetic tests. We can finally put this worry behind us.
We used the PCR technique and conducted DNA fingerprinting of the copied DNA sequences. Neither is mainstream science yet, but the concepts and procedures are sound. Both tests say there is 0% chance that the two of you are blood relatives, meaning the results are negative. He's not your son, nor is he your clone. He's just another person.
It was 12 years ago that Zero made plans to clone you. Eli's age and appearance certainly are a good fit. I admit the first time I saw him I did a double take, but it looks like we were worried for nothing. Eli isn't your clone, though you might still have one somewhere out there.
But if Eli isn't the boss's clone, why does he seem so obsessed with him? Not to mention having one hell of an attitude for his age.
I don't know. Learning the truth about himself, cursing the fact he's a clone, bearing a grudge against selfish adults and coming to hate who he was cloned from. Big boss. If that were really the case, I could understand it. I might even feel a bit sorry for him. But no clone could have a totally different DNA fingerprint. And the tests left no room for error. You yourself were there when we drew Eli's blood sample.
Come to think of it, when we went to OKB-0, he'd snuck onto a chopper and was there.
Yeah.
He was acting strange even then. Or actually from a little before that time.
That was exactly when we began these tests.
Maybe he suspected something when we drew the sample, not knowing what we were doing to him, and becoming mistrustful of us.
Hard to say. Eli's had an attitude problem from day one.
So what is he then?
Well, if he's gonna tell us that himself, we'll need to get him to open up more first. Skullface, real name unknown. Born in Hungary, more specifically northern Transylvania after it reverted to Hungary from Romania. While he was young, the country allied with Germany as part of the Axis powers, but later during the war, it came under Soviet occupation. The Hungarians struggled for independence, but the Soviets came down. Hard. Just like he said, time and again the country was ruled by a foreign tongue. When he was a young boy, he lost his native language, the bedrock for any developing child. His country, his family, his face, his identity, everything was stolen from him. All he had left was his skull. Skullface first tried his hand at espionage during all the chaos from the war. Agents, military officials, and soldiers who operated out of Hungary during the war vanished over the course of several months. This Soviet spy hunt rocked the counter-intel world. Mysterious fatal illnesses, accidental deaths, drownings, people having strokes behind closed doors. Just like Stalin, no one knew who was behind it. But all you need to do was look for who had the motive. They were all taken out by a man without a face. And now we've got an idea of how he did it too. He'd gotten revenge for his people, but he wasn't finished. Skullface defected to the West, eventually ended up with the SAS. That's where he met Zero. It's possible he began planning this whole thing back then. It's hard to say. In any case, Zero made him his XO. He always did have a thing for oddballs. But this one was set to lead a unit no one else would know about. When Zero created Fox, he also formed XOF as a support team. An unconventional special forces unit designed to support Fox, make it stronger, with Skullface given the orders. Zero never even told the boss about it, nor the CIA, naturally. If Fox was Zero's silver bullet, XOF was the recoil when he pulled the trigger, just like Newton's third law. While you were with Fox, Skullface was operating behind the scenes, sometimes as your backup, sometimes as a mole or a scout, sometimes as your cleanup crew. Fox's tail, making sure the mission succeeded and that you survived. We only have his word to go on, but Skullface's goal was revenge against those who'd use language to subjugate people. Those corrupting a people's identity by forcing a new tongue on them. Those using the power of language to control information. Naturally, that set his sights on Zero. To Zero, English was simply the most convenient code. But to Skullface, English was a parasite. And by eradicating it, he'd stop the world from being eaten away. If that didn't work, he was ready to see the world scorched by nuclear fire. To save language, culture, and race from annihilation, he was willing to overstep the hands of the doomsday clock. That is, of course, if you believe anything he had to say. You know, when you brought back all the child soldiers who escaped, Eli knew they'd returned. Needless to say, nobody said a word to him. I guess they got a message to him somehow. Eli wasn't put in a corner in timeout. He was locked up in that room, completely cut off from the outside world. Then how'd he find out? It's only one possibility I can think of. The Soviet Union has been researching military applications for psi phenomena. Psi? Things like psychokinesis and ESP, extrasensory perception.
Caution.
You mean moving
Rain
objects
approaching.
without touching them? Knowing what cards somebody's holding up? Psychic powers? Come on. I thought that was just another bunch of disinformation aimed at the West. Just bear with me a second. One type of ESP is telepathy. It's the ability to know another person's thoughts through non-verbal means. You're saying Eli read our minds? It's the only idea that doesn't involve someone getting to him. Ocelot. Look, psi research isn't some hocus pocus. It's all evidence-based, scientific... There's gotta be another explanation. Maybe one of the kids stuck a note to your back. I hope that's the case. But I am convinced that they have, or Eli has, a connection to some force we have yet to identify. You better watch yourself, boss. How am I supposed to do that? If he is depending on something for help, well, that's his Achilles heel. If you can figure out what that something is, you might be able to use it against him. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, and the medical team is looking after the kids left on Mother Base. For the moment, they don't seem too panicked. But boss, get this. Eli got those kids to plot their armed uprising as a diversion. Also, he could steal Sahelanthropus and escape. That Brad got us good. Set us up and knocked us down. And then there's that mystery kid who was with Eli. With those two working together, I'd say things won't be over for a long time yet.
Rise and shine, old-timer. It is complete. I had our best and brightest working overtime, fine-tuning the greatest burger the world has ever known. I call it the Chemical Burger.
What on earth is that color?
Now, don't judge a burger by its color. Go on, try it.
I am not very hungry.
What? Oh, I get it. Now, sure, it's loaded with additives, but each one's been approved by the WHO for human consumption. Come on, one little bite's not gonna kill you.
Are you sure of that? Fine.
Well, what do you think?
It is perfect.
Right? Right?
This takes me back to the taste of my youth. The neon signs on the Mother Road. Oh, I can see them now.
So, what do you think of our signs now? And it doesn't just taste great. You won't believe how cheap it is to make. And because it's pumped up with preservatives, it won't spoil easily in regions lacking refrigerated storage or transportation infrastructure. This bad boy could even solve Africa's hunger problem.
Excuse me.
People will no longer fight over food or find reason to hate one another. Mankind will come together, reunited between these fluffy buns. Forget Pax Americana. Say hello to Pax Hamburgana.
Pax Hamburgana.
Skullface thought that destruction was the way to free the peoples of the world from American imperialism. But this is different. Tackling something head-on just makes for more conflict. Only by uniting the world can its various inhabitants truly become free. Having lived as an American parasite as long as I have, I know what I'm talking about. The Chemical Burger is poised to be the greatest liberating force the world has ever known.
An ethnic liberator. Burger.
Now all I need is a better brand image, starting with a name. I gotta run, old-timer. I'll catch you later.
Please select a mission. Please specify a project. Please select a mission. Please specify a project. Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Please specify a project. Weather will clear shortly. Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Heading to Afghanistan. Deploying.
This mission has two objectives. Eliminate the colonel scheduled to take up a post at Smasi Fort and stop the deployment of his tank unit. Your first move should be to head to Sakri village and search for the colonel and his deployment plans.
Please select a deployment point.
Be careful down there, boss.
The map has been updated.
Boss, to take out enemy combat vehicles, you'll want to use explosive weaponry. Missiles, grenades, placed explosives. If you haven't developed these yet, use your iDroid to give the order. Choose your weapon according to the situation.
Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
That's the village where the target is stationed. You should start your search there.
Has been updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. The map has analysis complete. Analysis complete. Please select a deployment point. Buddy has infiltrated out. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. The map has been updated.
Talk.
The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. coming too. Roger that.
Одного из наших унесло на восточный шале. Кажется, у нас лазутчик. Не занялся его поисками? Прием! Это КП, понял. Последующие потери неприемлемы. Держите ухо восток. Конец связи.
Spit it out. Okay, subject is in.
The map has been updated.
Soviet tank. If you could steal that, nothing could stop you. But make a wrong move, and it'll chew you up. You gonna extract him?
Please select a deployment point. Buddy has infiltrated our... The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination. The map has been updated.
Speak.
The map has been updated.
He's coming too. Roger that.
The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Spit it out.
The map has been updated.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Here. Spit it out.
The map has been updated.
You gotta extract him.
Marker placed. You have arrived at your destination. You have arrived at your destination. Intel file extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a mission. Mission info has been updated. The map has been
Boss,
updated.
that document you just got is the deployment plans for the Smasi Fort reinforcements. According to the plans, the Colonel is supposed to join up with a tank unit of Waksin Barracks and then proceed to Smasi Fort. Those tanks being on the move doesn't make things easy.
Placed.
Hurry, boss. I've sent the tank unit's route to your iDroid.
Please select a deployment point. Development complete. Buddy has infiltrated our... The map has been updated. Development project has been added. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a deployment point. The map has been updated.
Fire. Fire at will.
Guard post captured. Caution. Sandstorm approaching.
subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
You have arrived at your destination. Detected. The map has been updated. Please select a deployment point.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Analysis complete. Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Tank unit has already reached the fort. The mission will be a failure at this rate unless you act fast. Eliminate those tanks at Smassi Fort.
Please select a deployment point. Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. The map has been updated.
Fire! Cover me!
Понял! Занять оборонную позицию и найти снайпера! Есть связи!
Analysis complete. Analysis.
That's your target for elimination, the Colonel. All reports say he's a formidable soldier. Be careful.
Капель угрозим! Мы потеряли вражеского снайпера. Прием на чего? Прием! Это КП, понял. Не расслабляйтесь. Они еще могут быть рядом. Конец связи.
Fire! Begin cover fire!
Контакт! Это Дмитрий 6! Огонь вражеского снайпера! Прием! Это КП, понял. Найти вражеского снайпера и снять его. Конец связи!
Fire! Fire at will!
КП! КП, это зона 4! Отправиться с ним огнем! Прием! Это КП, понял! Немедленно отправляйтесь туда и будьте готовы к контакту с врагом! Конец связи!
Fire! Fire!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
КП, ГТЗ! Мы потеряли вражеского снайпера! Отдаем Свечаку! Прием!
You gotta extract him.
КП, понял. Будьте бдительны. Не позволяйте им напасть на вас. Конец связи!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
КП, ГТЗ! Есть признак вражеской активности! Усилим охрану! Прием! Это КП, понял. Смотрите, бомба! Конец связи!
Roger that.
Fire! Fire!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Extraction failed.
Зоя-1, что случилось? Ответьте, Зоя-1! Капель, это Дмитрий 9! Обнаружена угроза! Всем быть начеку! Прием! ЗКП, понял. Проверьте окрестности.
Keep cover fire!
Nice work. Keep it up.
Stand down! Cover me!
Now that's some lateral thinking. Target extraction confirmed.
ЗКП,
Just one tank left.
чувствительные. Конец связи.
He's coming too. Roger that. Subject on board. That's the way.
Has been updated. Outpost captured.
Good. You completed the objective. Now get out of there. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land.
Ceasefire!
Sun will set shortly. Extraction arrived at the mother base. Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Please select a deployment point. Has infiltrated and the map has been updated. Extraction arrived at mother base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Exfiltrated.
All right, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete. All right, mission complete, boss. Maybe you'll actually break a sweat next time, huh?